Episode of the Everblack Podcast is brought to you by Deathwish, Hotrods and Kustoms. Check out their Instagram for all their new t-shirts, caps, beanies, cups, and the all-new Atomic Death lineup.
Hey, this is Trevor Sternad from the Black Dahlia Murder here, and you're listening to the Everblack Podcast.
Hey, human skull, this is odorous from Guam.
Going to the Fear Factory.
This is George Corshunner Fisher.
This is Gas from Devil Drop.
This is Wade from Our Last Enemy.
The Magnificent Suicidal Tendencies.
Hey, this is Wednesday 13. This is Rex from Kill Devil Hill.
This is Gary Lee
from Sepultura. You're listening to Everblack Podcast.
How's it going?
Yeah, good, brother. Good. How are you? What's happening?
I'm doing good. Just staying healthy, staying sane, and taking it one day at a time, you know?
All you can do, eh?
Yeah, no, in this day and age, you know, it's hard enough to just do those two things. So I'm giving it my all.
All right, man. And of course you definitely are. I mean, with this new album, it's fucking incredible, dude. Go ahead and die.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Man. Yeah. I love it, dude. It reminds me of a lot of old school stuff that I used to find on tape. I guess you're hearing that a lot, but it's like no frills, no bullshit, just straight up, like, man.
Yeah, no, that was the intention. So I'm glad that people are picking up on it, appreciating it, pointing it out and stuff. You know, it's nice to have an idea and it actually comes across the right way, you know?
Oh, I know, man. I know, especially how was it recorded? Like, did you purposely go, okay, we're going to record it with this certain gear to make it sound like that? Or you just went in and just went, let's just let it rip?
Kinda, you know, there was a couple steps we took. I wouldn't say it was so much from the gear side. I'd say that sound came from the performance. You know, doing things like not using a click track, you know, not getting it sounds weird, but not getting perfect guitar takes, like, you know, not using bad ones, but if there's a finger slide or a pick slide or stuff like that, keep it in there, you know. Same with the vocals, you know, keep the vocals pretty raw, one or two takes maximum. Keep the breathing and all that, you know, everything that's going to make it sound like we're playing it live, we wanted to keep in. So, you know, the gear, we just used regular cabinets, you know, nothing, just I think regular Marshalls on the record, or PV, I can't even remember. But a lot of it came down to just what performances we kept and how much we sat and tried to get perfect stuff, and actually, or I should say lack thereof, you know. We didn't try to get perfect ones. We you know, once we'd get one that you could listen to it all the way through, it was like, okay, cool, let's move on to the next one. Let's not overthink this.
I love that. Because I mean, there's something about, you know, when you do hear albums and you hear those little, you know, little pick scrapes and those little, it makes it sound real, like real humans doing it, you know, not robots. I love that. Yeah. How it used to be.
I mean, we live in a day and age where we're getting to the point you might not know if a person's a robot one day, and you know, so to hear something human and organic, to me, I really like it, you know.
Did they have? Didn't I read somewhere that they got a AI to write a Nirvana song or something a little while ago? Like,
there's a couple of those. Yeah, I've seen Nirvana and Metallica. And so, I mean, literally, you know, not to mention electronic music and stuff like that already exists, but yeah, they could literally take your music, feed it through input, and get something in an output without a human being doing anything, you know. So it is nice to have a real raw, like, just totally no holds bar album, you know. I think it's just what it kind of needs this day and age.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think everyone's starting to go back to the way things, you know, should be, the real way.
Yeah,
you know.
No, of course.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're in a virtuoso jazz fusion progressive metal band, then by all means get your perfect guitar takes and your perfect vocal takes. But if you're doing pissed off, angry, crusty shit like that, like, you got to keep it crusty, man.
It's it, man. Well, of course, you know, some dudes go fishing with their dads, some dudes fix cars, but of course, I love that, you know, you and your dad decide to turn up the amps and make some loud noises. I hope to do that with my boy one day. But how did that come about? Obviously, I mean, you've been around it all your life, but did you just like, hey, Dad, let's just go and have a jam? Was it that simple?
sort of, I think the first time we had the idea was in 2018. Soulfly did the Nail Bomb record live.
Yes.
And I filled in and did Alex Newport's vocals on that tour. And I think it was then that we were like, hey, why don't we maybe do something in the vein of like Nail Bomb? It's a little bit metal, it's a little bit punk, it's a little bit weird and off the wall with the kind of abrasive lyrics and stuff like that, and so it started as an idea, but he's so busy all the time. And all of his bands and albums and things he does, he's on the road like 8-9 months out of the year. So it was always really hard to like buckle down and do it. But last year when the pandemic hit, it shut down everything. So, I think we just got together and we're like, let's try to make a couple songs to see how it goes. And I think after 3 of them, we were like, whoa, this is actually kind of coming out pretty good. Let's keep doing it. And before we knew it, we had like a bunch of demos.
Well, how'd you get Zach Coleman on board from Khemmis? How'd that happen?
It was just definitely one of those, domino things. We made the demos. They were on a drum machine, so they were like really primitive and mechanical sounding. And we knew we couldn't release them like that, And so, obviously it came to the point like, let's get a drummer, let's find someone, reach out, figure out if anyone's available. And it was actually Arthur who mixed and mastered the record, who put us in touch with Zach because they worked together on the Black Curse album.
Yes.
Which is a really good record for anyone that hasn't heard it. And just called up Zach basically. Was like, hey man, we got this album. We want you to record it, potentially be in the band if we like you, this and that, and we just hit it off. He's a cool guy, really good drummer, and it was a lot of fun playing the stuff live in practice and in the studio. He did a really good job.
Are you guys all in the same, because you're in Arizona, right? Is that where you're at?
That's where I grew up. That's this band we did out of Arizona. I actually live in Florida now, but I just bounce back and forth.
Yeah.
But Zach's actually in Denver. So it was one of those things we all kind of met up in Phoenix and just like based the band out of there, even though a couple of us live in other places.
How was that? I know, things are pretty hectic over there at the moment. How was that sort of getting everyone together and meeting up?
It was a little crazy. Like I said, I moved to Florida like 2 years ago. My wife's family lives here, and we'd been in the desert for a few years, so we were like, let's try something else. And anyways, so when the pandemic hit, I actually called my folks and was like, hey, I'm gonna pack up a couple things and just drive back and maybe just hang with you guys for like a month because it's kind of crazy over here. So that was kind of how it started. So I drove there. I quarantined for a week and a half when I got there, and same with Zach. He just, he got a COVID test, made sure he wasn't sick. And I think when we did it, I can't remember exactly, but I think the airports were closed. So that's why, we looked for someone who was kind of regional. If we were doing it in Arizona, someone from California or Colorado or something like that, somewhere close. And so we all just drove out and quarantined together, basically. It was a little crazy for sure.
It is crazy, dude. It is crazy, man. But I like the truckload full of bodies video. It's pretty fun. I mean, it's with the pork and stuff. Like, was that?
Yeah.
Was that where'd you guys do it? Was that on a set or was that actually in a morgue?
No, it's crazy. I guess you could call it a set. Jim Laveau and Tony Aguilar, who did the video, actually knew of the spot. They're both from Phoenix as well, and it's kind of weird because Phoenix is a relatively newer city. People it hasn't had a big population for a long time, but it's a really old giant like warehouse that I think they said used to be like a sugar mill or something like that in like the early 1900s. And this guy owns it now, and it is just full of everything you could imagine. I don't know how else to put it. It's like a 20,000 square foot warehouse with like everything from cars to a morgue freezer to a furnace to he had a skate half pipe in there, all this stuff. So we filmed it on site in this old abandoned warehouse in Phoenix. And The morgue freezer was a real morgue freezer. That he think he told us he got it for Alice Cooper to do a photo shoot one time.
Shit.
And he said he gets stuff and then it just stays in the warehouse forever. So, but it was real. Like bodies had been on there and stuff, and it was creepy and cold and
oh man,
but I think it added to the video, and it gives it the video's like a really good like B movie meets like 28 days later kind of, like it's cool. We had a lot of fun with it. The attention to detail and stuff like that was fun, and it was all our friends actually wearing the guys in the white suits with the body bags. Those were all our friends. Even my wife was actually one of them too. She's the little one tossing them into the trunk, so it was cool. It's like almost a communal type thing of friends, and it was in this like awesome huge creepy warehouse that like I don't even know how to explain it, but it was fun. And it came out great. I think the quality of it looks awesome.
Oh, dude, it's one of the best videos I've seen in a while. I like it. It's really
Thank
cool.
you.
I mean,
Thank you.
Of course, I mean, the video is really fun, but the song itself isn't about fun things. I mean, it's about a lot of it's going on in the world right now.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was definitely influenced by COVID, and it's kind of got a lot of different things. It's showing the reality of being in a hospital by yourself. It's showing the reality of hospitals being overcrowded, and as people are dying, they're just going into trucks and stuff like that. Like, it also has a little dystopian kind of like fictional value to it a little bit too. And it's dark stuff, but it's really in all reality just trying to raise awareness about COVID and try to get people to take it seriously. Nobody wants to be dying like that. Like, you definitely don't. It sounds and looks horrible, and I'm definitely thankful to have made it this far through all this without anything bad happening, and to my loved ones and people I care about too. We've been really fortunate.
Absolutely. Because down here, we've been incredibly lucky, but we see it all on the news, you know what I mean? And then you've got those, tinfoil hat wearing nut bars that are like, it's all pretend, it doesn't exist. And then it happens, man. People need to take that shit seriously. So you're right. And I'm glad you guys are singing about real shit.
Yeah, no, of course, man. Every song on the album deals with everything from COVID to politics to police brutality to just madness of isolation and being quarantined. We just dived into stuff that is going on, stuff that's actually involving us, stuff that we simply want to speak about and bring awareness to. It was definitely from a place of compassion and just trying to spread a message. I could see how people could take it as darkness, or it's like edgy even, or this or that, but at the same time we're really just talking about human rights and things like that. Like, I don't see any reason anyone should ever bat an eye at it.
Yeah, that's
all be
right.
supporting these things.
Absolutely. And I mean, you've also got the animated video for Toxic Freedom. Sorry, I'm probably look a little funny today. I've got a bit of a hangover. I went to a show last night, so it was. Yeah.
I'm envious.
Oh man, it was. Shout out to Black Reno if you heard of those guys.
I haven't. I'll look them up though.
Man,
I'm always looking for suggestions.
They run with the King Parrot crew. If you heard of those guys.
I love those dudes. We toured with them in Europe one time with my old band Lodi. We toured.
That's
together.
right, man.
Love those guys.
You love these dudes. They all run the same crowd. Anyway,
nice.
Let me reel myself back in.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good.
The Toxic Freedom video is really cool, like the animated stuff. You want to expand on that with like maybe more animated videos, or maybe even a comic or something like that?
Certainly. We actually we have a couple ideas already. I can't obviously spill too much of the beans about them, but there will be another, I guess you could call it, animated on the way, and some more of us actually as the band. There's a lot of content behind the scenes and stuff like that we're going to be putting out as well. and potentially even a live show digital type thing. So, you know, because that's the day and age we're in right now, you know, you got to do what you got to do. But yeah, no, there is definitely more stuff in the exact same vein along the way. Definitely.
Who did all the artwork and stuff? Because it reminds me of like you know, the old school, you know, album covers and stuff. Like, it's incredible. Who did all that?
I'm trying to remember the guy's name who did the Toxic Freedom video. I know his first name is Costin. But I think he did the Killer Be Killed animated as well and a couple other ones. He's really good at what he does. And then the Go Ahead and Die album cover was done by an artist named Stuart Easton. And if I'm not mistaken, he is a comic book artist or some type of artist in that style. So I was really stoked on how it came out. You know, I like the heavy lines and the black and white with just the red. You know, it's a cool balance of stuff, and the image itself is, you know, eye grabbing and hopefully eye opening to a lot of people. You know, and he did a great job with it. And last but not least, Jeff Walker from Carcass did the logo, which it's a really funny story. We didn't even ask him, to be honest. Wow. We were taught, you know, doing business with Nuclear Blast and coming up with the logo and coming up with the artwork and stuff like that. And I don't know who did the shadow work on it, but I woke up one day, I checked my emails, and I see this circular Go Ahead and Die logo that looks kind of like Crass or something like that, you know? And I'm like, wait, what? Jeff Walker? You know, I'm like, I think I squealed, you know? So I'm a big Carcass fan. All that English, like crusty, grindy stuff is what inspired this band. Without Discharge and Doom and without J.K. Broderick and Jeff Walker and Bill Steer and all those guys, like, we wouldn't be doing this band. So to me, it's his stamp of approval. You know, it's the crust punk stamp of approval on it, and I was so humbled. I couldn't believe it. You know.
I'm a massive Carcass fan as well, man. So that I putting yourself in that, just waking up and going, holy shit, Jeff Walker, who, man,
like, I knew,
awesome.
I was already excited to see the logo, and then I see the signature, and I'm like, God, you know. But no, totally humbled and totally, like, just it was amazing. Yeah, it was one of those days I'll never forget, like, seeing it for the first time.
Fuck, do you know what'd be awesome? Because Carcass, they pushed back their album. Imagine hitting the road in Australia. Has to be Australia. Carcass. Go Ahead and Die, man. Putting it out there. Not
a bad idea. I would love it. Manifest it.
Putting it out there. That's what I'm doing. I'm like putting it out there in the universe.
Yeah. No, definitely. That'd be a dream, man. Like, let alone just to play Go Ahead and Die. We really want to. It's a weird paradox. Like, I would have loved to put it out when I could play, but I wouldn't have put it out like this if we could play. You get what I mean? The pandemic and everything influenced it, and it went that way because it had to. But we definitely do want to. You know, we certainly think that the live show will be what captivates people and really gets them, because it's that old school vibe. It's better live, you know. The intensity, passion, things like that are there, you know. So I would love to, if Jeff happens to see this, or whoever their booking agent is, you know, let's make it happen.
Come on, Jeff. Come on, Jeff. He's a funny guy. I had him on the show years ago, and he's just one of the funniest dudes. He just straight off the bat took the piss out of me, and I was like, here we go. Yeah, we got it.
Oh no, definitely. Yeah, no, he's witty as hell and funny for sure.
But you know, of course, it sounds like it's going to be awesome on cassette as well. It's got that sound. Is it coming on cassette? It is.
It's actually a like the cover. It's a white cassette with blood splatters on it. So it looks really cool. Yeah, no, it's on cassette. I think there's 3 or 4 different vinyl variations, and CD as well, and of course digitally.
Man, that's so good.
It's a whole package for sure.
Mate, I mean, growing up, you would have been exposed to all those kinds of things. I mean, in the family. I mean, I don't know what the family home. I don't know if you have basements or you know, attics there. I don't know what it's like. I don't know, but did you have like a storage place where your family kept all like the old tapes and memorabilia and stuff like that? You could go in and raid and discover things. Was that, you know?
I mean, our house was in general, you know, both of my parents are music lovers, art lovers, collectors, things like that. I'm the youngest of 7. A lot of people don't know that. So there's tons of us kids in the house with all of our own different interests and things we were into. And then, yeah, you know, they do have a couple storage units, and we have what we call jam pad. It's like a practice room where all the touring gear and leftover merch and stuff like that goes, where we practice sometimes. Yeah, I mean, we're all kind of like collectors of something, or in one way or another. You know,
Yeah.
I really like getting good guitars, and books are kind of my 2 things I can't have enough of. But like I said, we all kind of have our different personalities and interests. So our house was always pretty cluttered, and we had dogs and stuff growing up, you know what I mean? So there's always noise in the house for sure, you know. And I think I got into metal just I don't know. I probably just like came across a pile of CDs in the corner of a room, or heard something on the radio or something, you know. I don't remember the exact moment, but I did know once I got into it, I started looking for it and asking my dad, and I'd go to the record store and do stuff like that, you know. And
Love it.
you know, I got a foot in, you know. And,
That's so good.
I've always enjoyed it, you know.
Man, I love it. I love, you know, you've grown up surrounded by that music and that artistic, you know, influence. But also, I mean, I don't know if people know this, but you're a kick-ass author as well.
Thank you. Yeah, no, when I got into metal, I got into horror at like the same time. And they both, I don't know, they just go hand in hand to me. Like
Yes.
I couldn't even see myself enjoying one without the other, and vice versa. Like they're just complementary to my lifestyle and what I like to do and what I'm interested in. But yeah, you know, I took a liking to it pretty young. I think when I was 16, I started writing I tried to do a full length story. Took me like 5.5, 6 years. But I finally put out a novel when I was like 21 called Killing My Insomnia. And then from there, I was like, let's keep doing this. Some people actually seem to like it. You know, it was nerve-wracking putting out like 60,000 words of your own stuff. But, you know, once I saw even a couple of reviews on it that were good, I was like, let's keep doing this. You know, if even one person likes it, I'll keep doing it. Because I love it, you know. It's like if I could do this stuff for free, I would. But I live in the real world, so I gotta ask for a little something in exchange for the time and effort that I put into it. But I would do it regardless of what it does for me. You know, I'd do it under a fake name, even if it came to that. You know, like I do it however I want. If I ever had trouble getting it out there, you know, and it's just passion, you know.
What about adapting your stories? You know, Netflix or something like that?
You know, I think everybody has a get out of bed fee. So I'm sure that if the right studio comes along and wants to do something, I'm not going to be against it. Not at all, you know.
Come on, Netflix. Come on, but
Yeah,
you know, give them the
please do.
address. Back that fucking money truck up. They've got enough. They can spare you a few mil and make that happen, because that'd be really cool, dude. That'd be
No,
really
I would love to. You know, I feel like movies will get your book a lot of attention, because you know, a book can take a week to read. A movie you can watch in one afternoon. A lot more people are going to do that. So I don't know. I don't have the funds to do it. So
But people always go
You
back
know.
to the books. You know what I mean? Like it, they go,
Yeah,
okay, and then
exactly.
they'll go, oh, okay, and they compare it, and then they, you know what they always say? They always like, the book's always better.
Book's always
Yeah,
better,
yeah,
because it is.
yeah.
Because you build it yourself. You
That's
you
right.
scare yourself. You know. Definitely.
Well, of course, you got the album coming out. What else you got cooking, brother?
I've been working a lot with my other band, Healing Magic, as well. We're like a stoner sludge duo.
Nice.
Really cool stuff. It's in a totally different vein of Go Ahead and Die. It's slowed down, groovy, more in the pocket, less sporadic and chaotic and crazy. We just put out an EP last year, and we actually recorded a first full-length album with Steve Austin of Today's the Day, recording, mixing, and mastering it. So that came out really cool. It's currently just getting wrapped up. Couple little bells and whistles that need to, be added. But that'll probably be coming out like this fall, maybe even this winter. We'll have to see, with touring and how the year goes. But yeah, I'm just doing both my bands and working on books. So I'm pretty busy, and I just got a new kitten. So that's what I've been doing the last week.
Man, that's the hardest work of all. Hey, man.
It is. But he's a lover. He's a good boy. So
What's his name?
Skooma, like from the Elder Scrolls.
Oh,
I don't know if you're familiar.
I'm not. No, but I know people that are. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
They'll get it.
Well, man, it's been awesome hanging out with you this morning. The new Go Ahead and Die album is out on June 11th through Nuclear Blast. All the best for everything going on for the rest of the year. Get your ass down here with Carcass. Fucking make that happen, people.
I want to. I want to just as bad. Trust me.
Oh, man. The best thing in the world. I need it.
Definitely. But thanks for having me as well, man. It was a pleasure to talk. It was a lot of fun.
Awesome, dude. And we'll do it again soon.
Yep. I hope so. Definitely.
Cool.
See you down under. Take care.
Brother.